Hello, friends, and welcome back to another episode of the Juicebox Podcast.
I am John. I'm from San Antonio, Texas, and I am the parent of a type 1 11-year-old girl.
If your loved one is newly diagnosed with type 1 diabetes and you're seeking a clear, practical perspective, check out the Bold Beginnings series on the Juicebox Podcast. It's hosted by myself and Jenny Smith, an experienced diabetes educator with over 35 years of personal insight into type 1. Our series cuts through the medical jargon and delivers straightforward answers to your most pressing questions. You'll gain insight from real patients and caregivers and find practical advice to help you confidently navigate life with type 1. You can start your journey informed and empowered with the Juicebox Podcast. The Bold Beginnings series and all of the collections in the Juicebox Podcast are available in your audio app and at juiceboxpodcast.com in the menu. Please don't forget that nothing you hear on the Juicebox Podcast should be considered advice, medical or otherwise. Always consult a physician before making any changes to your healthcare plan or becoming bold with insulin. This episode of the Juicebox Podcast is brought to you by my favorite diabetes organization, Touched by Type 1. Please take a moment to learn more about them at touchedbytype1.org on Facebook and Instagram. Touchedbytype1.org. Check out their many programs, their annual conference, awareness campaign, their D-Box program, Dancing for Diabetes. They have a dance program for local kids, a golf night, and so much more. Touchedbytype1.org. You're looking to help, or you want to see people helping people with type 1? You want touchedbytype1.org. I'm having an on-body vibe alert. This episode of the Juicebox Podcast is sponsored by Eversense 365, the only one-year wear CGM. That's one insertion and one CGM a year. One CGM, 1 year. Not every 10 or 14 days. EversenseCGM.com/juicebox. A huge thanks to my longest sponsor, Omnipod. Check out the Omnipod 5 now with my link, omnipod.com/juicebox. You may be eligible for a free starter kit, a free Omnipod 5 starter kit at my link. Go check it out, omnipod.com/juicebox. Terms and conditions apply. Full terms and conditions can be found at omnipod.com/juicebox.
I am John. I'm from San Antonio, Texas, and I am the parent of a type 1 11-year-old girl.
11-year-old. Do you have any other kids?
I do. I have a almost 8-year-old as well.
Oh, wow. 8 and 11. 11-year-old has type 1, and she, right, was diagnosed how old?
She was diagnosed last year. Shoot, I think we're about 6 months in. It was October 15th of last year.
It's only been about 6 months.
Yeah.
Ooh,
we're fresh still.
Yeah, this is a good conversation then. I'm going to enjoy this. You won't. It'll be a horrible turning up of emotions that you're not really ready to deal with yet. But I'm going to be like, awesome. What a great podcast.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your extended family. Is there other type 1, other autoimmune? Is there any autoimmune in your family?
I came prepared because I hear you ask this a lot.
Thank you.
So no type 1. We kind of did some digging. My wife and I, she had a grandmother with type 1 and her mother, so my mother-in-law has vitiligo, which is autoimmune. My wife has PCOS. My wife has hypothyroidism. And then on my side, we got a bunch of celiac and also some PCOS. I have some sisters with PCOS. So no type 1, but a bunch of autoimmune from what we found after this.
I thought you said there was a grandmother with type 1.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. My wife's grandmother had type 1, correct?
Yes. Okay. So what do you think the inclination is? Because you're not certainly the only person to say there's no type 1 in my family, but my wife's grandmother has it. Like, is that far enough away that you're like, that's not really us?
I think so. Yeah. I think we're thinking, our siblings, our parents. So yeah, I think that's what it is probably.
Yeah. That's a misnomer for people. It's like if I was breeding puppies and I was like, well, this puppy is from that, 2 puppies away. They're not related.
True. That's true. If you think of it that way.
Yeah. Actually, you're related just like 2 generations of banging. That's pretty close.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. Your wife has hypothyroidism, PCOS?
Yes.
She have any trouble getting pregnant?
It did take us a little while. We didn't have to, do any fertility, but I remember it took us, I think, longer than we thought it would.
Would you mind if I asked you a question that I should be asking her?
Sure.
Okay. Her lady problems, did they change drastically after giving birth?
She's still, I think she still has the PCOS.
No, she still has it, but like, John, you said, I think, like, that's not the way. I don't know how long you've been married, man, but like, don't give up that you're not sure. What I mean is like, frequent heavy periods, like she had whatever she had going on prior. I don't know what she had going on prior. Maybe you can tell me. Like, did it change or morph after giving birth?
Oh, I see. Yeah. No, that's still all that stuff still remains.
Going. Okay.
She struggles with it. Yeah.
When your gyno says, don't worry, after you have a baby, this will all be better. There's a thing they love to tell women, which I think is crazy. But
not true in our scenario.
Not true. Yeah, not true in your scenario. Go make a baby. Everything will get better. Like, what is that like? Is that advice from the Old West? You know what I mean?
I think so. I think we did hear that too. It was almost like, oh, it'll reset your system or something to that effect. But yeah, not the case.
A lot of things that you haven't found to be true in any aspect of life whatsoever so far.
Right.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Okay, so she's got those issues. You have your first is 11 years old. How old are you guys?
I'm 40 and my wife is 37, so we're not too far apart.
Okay, all right. So what's the first sign of the type 1?
It was her hair was falling out. So my wife, brushes the hair in the morning before school. She gets them ready, and she's like, "Man, I'm getting a lot of your hair is coming out in the brush." Noticed it in the shower, and then we just took a good look at her, and we noticed that she had lost weight. She was looking really thin. Mm-hmm. She was always thirsty and hungry. Later, she told us, "Oh, I was drinking, like." I'd take a water bottle to school and I'd be done before class even starts. Now, of course, she didn't share what this till after, but things like that. I had to wake up 3 times to go to the bathroom at night again, which we didn't know, but she was experiencing. So there were lots of signs that looking back now, we know what it was, but we had no idea.
Did it spark your wife to think hypothyroid at first? Because there's some overlapping stuff there with the hair loss, the weight, stuff like that.
I don't think so.
No.
To be honest, I remember her coming to me being like, "Hey, I think I'm going to take her to the doctor because this is concerning." And I'll be honest, we were like, "Yeah, maybe it's some sort of vitamin deficiency, or maybe she needs some sort of supplements." Like that's literally what we thought it was.
Mm.
But it was all mother intuition because she said, "I got to take her." She was something's off.
Okay, that's awesome.
And so she took her in, and it was kind of strange. They didn't poke her. They didn't do a finger poke at the doctor, which I feel like would have answered our question.
Well, hindsight and all,
Right,
yeah.
Right. But they sent her for labs, and then we got a call the next day from not our doctor, another doctor in the practice, which I thought was strange. And she sounded very flustered on the phone. She left both of us a voicemail because we were working.
Mm.
She was like, "I need someone to call me back, like as soon as possible. Like, call me back, please, call me back." And so I get that, and you start freaking out and call, and she said, "You need to go get her and take her to the hospital right now."
Mm.
And we were like, okay. And that pretty much started our journey towards this whole ordeal.
John, did she say, "I think she has type 1 diabetes," or did she just say, "Get her to the hospital"?
She did. She said her blood sugar was 800.
No.
And and of course we don't know. We're like, "Oh, what was that? How bad is that?" And she's like, "It's
800.
Very bad.
That's almost 1,000. Way to go, kid." Yeah, you don't know. Yeah, you don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
As you're driving to that hospital, what's your feeling? Like she's in imminent danger, or just a thing we have to handle right now?
So the doctor was like, she was like, "You should take her now." She was like, "If this was my child, I would take her now." She was like, she's okay, right? She's not going to die right this moment. So I guess she tried to reassure us that, but it was still pretty like urgent. Like, you need to do this.
Right.
I remember even, because I think it was like noon. And I remember even thinking, after we got off the phone, we were like, well, maybe we'll just take her in the morning, or, we kind of downplayed it a little bit, but then we were like, you know what, we should listen to the recommendation and we should go ahead and take her in. So
I need one more second on that. You actually got off the phone and you're like, we could probably do this tomorrow.
Yeah, no lie. we thought about it like, okay, because I think, and again, this is a blur. I think she even mentioned, we have a good endocrinologist we work with. I'll set you up with her. And, we were even thinking like, well, maybe we can just go see the endocrinologist and go to them directly instead of having to, deal with the hospital and the wait and the mess. And we have our other daughter. What are we going to do with her? So
she was clear. Like, go to the emergency room right now.
She was.
Man, John, I got to imagine every doctor listening right now is like, well, yeah, this is why we talk to you people like that, because you don't listen.
Yes. Yes.
Good. Yes. That's why everyone's stories like, oh, they were so like aggressive about going to the hospital. And they're probably like, yeah, because you have no idea how many people just don't listen to us when we say that. Like, it's an interesting problem. I love that. All right. So but you did go to the hospital.
Yes.
Look at you.
Yeah. We went to the hospital. My wife went and picked her up. I actually work closer to the hospital they told us to take her to. So we actually met there. Mm-hmm. We were on the phone. They called me right when they were on the way, and we were all talking, on the speakerphone. And my daughter was like confused. She was like, okay. She's like, I think she got a little nervous. Yeah. I think she got a little nervous. We know nothing about diabetes. So I was like, I think I even told her, hey, maybe, this is something where you can take a medicine and you'll be fine.
John's just out there like with the pixie dust. He's like, they'll probably just rub something on your arm and this will be over soon. Don't worry.
Yes. So I felt horrible hours after saying that.
Did you go back to her and say, hey, sorry, I'll keep my mouth shut until I know what I'm talking about next time?
Shoot. I don't even think I did. But hindsight now, I'm remembering that I said that. But now, I mean, it was
she probably
a big shock.
Yeah, she probably doesn't remember,
Yeah.
Going from like in the car, like, I don't know what the big deal is, to the actual happening, right? Like, do you see the shift in her quickly, or are you more focused on what's happening to you? Like what is your perspective in the hospital? You worried about her? You're worried about your wife? You're worried about being strong? Can you tell me what your focus was? This episode is brought to you by Omnipod. Would you ever buy a car without test driving it first? That's a big risk to take on a pretty large investment. You wouldn't do that, right? So why would you do it when it comes to choosing an insulin pump? Most pumps come with a 4-year lock-in period through the DME channel, and you don't even get to try it first. But not Omnipod 5. Omnipod 5 is available exclusively through the pharmacy, which means it doesn't come with a typical 4-year DME lock-in period. Plus, you can get started with a free 30-day trial to be sure it's the right choice for you or your family. My daughter has been wearing an Omnipod every day for 17 years. Are you ready to give Omnipod 5 a try? Request your free starter kit today at my link, omnipod.com/juicebox. Terms and conditions apply. Eligibility may vary. Full terms and conditions can be found at omnipod.com/juicebox. Find my link in the show notes of this podcast player or at juiceboxpodcast.com. Today's episode is sponsored by a long-term CGM that's going to help you to stay on top of your glucose readings, the Eversense 365. I'm talking, of course, about the world's first and only CGM that lasts for 1 year. 1 year, one CGM. Are you tired of those other CGMs? The ones that give you all those problems that you didn't expect? Knocking them off, false alerts, not lasting as long as they're supposed to? If you're tired of those constant frustrations, use my link, eversensecgm.com/juicebox, to learn more about the Eversense 365. Some of you may be able to experience the Eversense 365 for as low as $199 for a full year. At my link, you'll find those details and can learn about eligibility. eversensecgm.com/juicebox. Check it out.
For me, it was all on, once we were there and she was there in the bed and we're waiting on, they put you in the triage and they get you back there and we're waiting there and they poke her there. And I think it was too high. It wouldn't register on their meter. Mm-hmm. And they told us that. So they were like, so that means it's over 600, because ours goes up to 600, like they told us. And at that point, it's just, you're starting to increasingly worry, mm-hmm. because of the attention and the hospital staff. And this is part of what I wanted to say. We'll get to it, but we got pretty good care, mm-hmm. I think. And so they were good, and they were good to her, and they, it's a children's hospital, so they have their way of talking to the kids and explaining things. And she needed an IV, and I don't like an IV, and I feel like that would be scary for me as a 40-year-old and for a 10-year-old to get it.
John, have you never had an IV?
I have, but it's only been a few times. I had to get a tooth removed one time, and they put me out, and it was, I don't know. I just have anxiety about it. But
John, you got an IV for a dental procedure?
Yeah, I had a bad cavity, and I had to go to an oral surgeon to pull it.
Oh, okay.
And and he was like, "I'm gonna put you out," So because I was stressing, the dentist is not my thing.
It must piss people off when they hear me say how relaxed I am at the dentist's office.
Oh no, yeah.
I just love it there. It's so calm. You're like, oh gosh, the IV seemed like a big step to you.
Yes, that's when I think you knew, like, okay, this is serious. Like, this is not just take this and you're fine.
Mm-hmm. Wow. How far is your understanding of diabetes come in such a short time, do you think?
So, I mean, there in that moment, or since to now?
No, to now.
Oh, okay. I think we have learned a ton. Listening to this podcast has helped tremendously. We use the vernacular, tug of war, crush it and catch it. Like, it's a part of kind of how we manage. So I think we've come a long way. We're still not an expert. Just the other day, we were talking about bolusing for fat and protein. And I told my wife, I was like, this is like, we're getting to like the next level stuff. I was like, I think we're pretty good at the basics now. Mm-hmm. Now we need to like fine tune this like next level stuff. Yeah. That is like the expert level.
Well, I hope it makes you feel better to know that I'm not an expert at it. I don't know that anybody is,
Right.
Arden's on a steroid right now, and it just feels like we've been fighting with it for a week now.
Yeah.
So, and I know what to do and I'm doing it, but it's, sometimes you're just like, it's not enough, or you're sending so much insulin through the site gets flooded and it just doesn't work as well. And you're like, well, I could be doing this or that. And then the reality of life is like, you know what I mean? Like, if I said to her, like, let's change your pump every, I don't know, 36 hours while you're on steroids, she'd be like, okay, Sparky. So, or, like, let's inject instead. Or she'd be like, why don't we just let it be a little high?
Right. Yeah.
The reality like creeps in a little bit. And in 6 months, if you're feel confident enough with foundational ideas that you're thinking like, well, let's try to level up a little bit here. In 6 months, man, that's awesome. Really. I think it's fantastic. Do you think your wife has the same level of comfort as you do?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we usually do our best to manage together and make decisions together. She does do all the changes, the CGM changes and the pod changes. She has more nimble hands, and so she does that. But I've been there. We kind of do it as a team, so it's good to kind of be all together in the same boat.
You stand in the back cheerleading.
Yeah, pretty much. Push the buttons, so I'll be there controlling the phone and okay, stick it on. Okay, let me push the button. Okay, here we go. So
John, are you really not nimble, or is that something she's told you?
I'm a bigger guy, and my hands are pretty big.
Gotcha.
And I don't know. That little pod is so little, I feel like.
Like ham-fisted. You're just like...
Yeah, like I'd drop it, or I'd put it crooked, or I'd, squish the little tape. I don't know.
John, you're giving me an image of Godzilla trying to put on somebody's Dexcom for them. Like with
exactly. It's like,
mittens.
Yeah.
Are your hands huge?
I mean, not huge, but, so I don't know. I mean, I could do it if I had to, but that's kind of been our routine. We have a little routine in place now.
Listen, I want to tell you something. I have pretty big hands. It does make simple things difficult. Like I often drop things that are like small, but you've done it before, right? Like you've tried or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I've done some of it. I don't think I've done a pod change.
Is it outside of your comfort zone beyond the big hands thing?
No, I mean, I could do it. Like I said, I've seen it enough times that I could do it. It's just, I think now I think the beginning, it was a nervous thing, but I think now it's just, we're in the routine so much that it's just kind of how we do it.
I know your kid's only 11, but Arden's 20. She's almost 21. I have to tell you, the amount of times I've seen that kid with her pants half down or like something like that. I mean, it's so, it must be weird to people from the outside. Like, like her friends are here. She's like, oh, I just have to change my pump real quick. And she just like, drops her pants and like pulls off something or whatever. Like there's no, I don't know. There's a lot of comfort between us, but I also like, I was also a stay-at-home dad for a really long time. So it might feel a little differently. It's interesting to me that are you nervous about it at all?
Maybe a little.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I'm just nervous that maybe I would do it wrong and mess it up. And then we've wasted one, or we have to,
John, we have to get past that. You're going to waste a lot of them. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
A lot of waste is going to happen between now and the end of this. Did you say you work near your house? You're not in the house, right? When you work during the day?
I go into the office 4 days a week. So we get one work at home day, which is the remnant of COVID.
Yeah. How about your wife? What does she do?
So she actually used to work in the school the kids go to, but recently they had in the district, they had some reorganization. So now she works out of an office in a different school. So she does some administrative work in a back office at a school, at an elementary school here. So she's not too far either from where they are.
And how is your daughter making out with her care? Like, is she pretty button friendly, understands carb counting? Like, what level do you think she's at?
I think she's getting pretty good. She carb counts pretty well. She estimates fairly well. The other day, at school they gave them a popsicle to celebrate something, and she was like, "Yeah, I just did 30 carbs, and I just went with it." And I mean, she didn't spike up, so we were like, "Okay."
Way to go.
She didn't really check with us. So we have a group text that sometimes we'll get hey, I'm going to have this, or hey, what do you think this is? She went to a birthday party last weekend, and she sent us a picture of her plate that she was going to eat, and we kind of gave her some guidance. So that's kind of been our method when she's not with us.
That's a fair way to do it.
But she's done fairly well.
Yeah, it's good. That's awesome. Do you think she was anywhere near right on the popsicle, or do you think she just got lucky?
We did some Googling after. I think she was pretty close. It was a pretty big one, and so I think she probably did pretty good.
Good for her. That's awesome. What do you think her reaction's been to this last 6 months? Have you had conversations with her? Have you witnessed something? Do you think it's changed her in ways that are obvious?
We haven't talked too much about it, other than the management and how we do things. She has shared with us, that it definitely has made some things more difficult. She has to do more thinking before doing things, whereas, a normal kid doesn't. We took her to the birthday party on a couple days ago, and we had our other daughter, and we went to Starbucks and got her a Frappuccino, and we didn't have to think. Here you go. And so in one sense, I was like, oh man, our other daughter has it pretty well, if you think about it, compared, because if we had our older one with us, it'd be a whole ordeal, and okay, how much, and what, pre-bolus. And so I feel for her because she's a kid, but all that considered, she does very well, and she's very responsible. Sometimes she takes advantage of, I think, her being a little low. She'll want a candy or something, which is, again, she's a kid. Yeah, I mean, she's a kid. So
sounds like nerds time to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, be careful of the guilt that comes with going off with your other kid without her, and it feeling, because it felt normal, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And that made you feel bad?
A little bit. It made me feel like, oh man, this sucks yeah.
So I'll just, my bit of advice here is not to let your non-type 1 daughter realize that her living her life without diabetes makes you feel guilty.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. And you don't want her to feel guilty about it either.
Right.
And you can't flaunt it in front of the other one. It's your life got more difficult like 6 months ago, John.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Did it feel like it was already difficult enough? Like this maybe wasn't necessary? If anyone was trying to level you up, this wasn't needed?
I mean, we were doing well, I thought,
Yeah.
I mean, we're not wealthy or well off, but I think we're pretty solid middle class. I mean, we have a house and cars, and the kids do extracurricular activities, and we take vacations. I mean, yeah, it was definitely a blow, I think, to our perfect life, I guess. I would say.
You built the life you meant to build.
Right.
And and you're 40, and things had gotten like you had a little vibe going, kids were getting older, like stuff was happening. And now, so can I ask you how does that impact you, your wife, and your relationship?
It's definitely hard because I think we both struggle with trying to balance her health with letting her be a kid. Mm-hmm. We have a trip coming up to Disney in June that we have had booked for more than a year. I'm a planner, so I book things way out in advance. And we never questioned going. We were like, no, we're not going to change that. But, just looking at that now, we're like, oh, shoot, like, okay, we're going to have to take a boatload of supplies and we're going to have to really be careful and really plan. And it just changes, I think. And so it's difficult because now when we kind of try to plan things, or when we try to, I guess, do our best to manage her, it just makes this much more stressful.
Yeah. Listen, I would offer this. I don't know if it's more difficult. I just think it sucks.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, you're going to do something. Something's going in that bag. So whatever, you'll put in extra pumps and extra CGMs and, an extra glucagon and that kind of stuff. When Arden was little, I would pack basically like double. And then eventually I was like, that was way too much. You know what I mean? Like, you get home and you unpack, you're like, okay. And then the next time you take a little less, and then you get it down to like a happy little medium. Arden went away last weekend overnight and she took more stuff than she needed. She took 2 CGMs with her. She took 2 pumps with her. She took insulin. She took an extra glucagon, extra test strips, 5 juice boxes, like some gummy bears. She took Pop-Tarts. I'm like, what are Pop-Tarts for? She goes, overnight, they work really well. And I'm like, okay.
Okay.
And like, she's like, put a banana in here. And I'm like, okay. I put a banana. She's got this little bag. She takes it all the way with her. Her and her boyfriend go where they're going to this, like, it's a school event, there's like a dinner and all this stuff. And she came back the next day and I opened she put the bag on the counter and I opened it up and it's exactly the way it was when I sent it off to her.
Yeah.
She didn't use one fucking thing in that bag. Yeah. Like, so, and I've learned to just be like, okay, well, good. Then, that's excellent. She was ready. Right. Like she had it there if she needed it. It's all good.
Right.
The first time we flew, I put some stuff. I still think this is a good idea. The bulk of what we take, I put in a checked bag. Right. But I carry on enough stuff that I can't believe this is what I'm going to say. But like, I carry on enough stuff that if the plane crashes and we live through it, like on an island for a couple of days, I'll have time to go find the fuselage and pull out the other bag.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah.
Is how I thought about it when she was younger.
Uh-huh.
Now, the way I think about it is we only travel to places where we can get to pharmacies.
Right. Okay.
Right? And then when we don't travel that often, but we did recently leave the US and we took extra stuff then because, and I put a little more of it. I balanced it a little more in carry on. So it's almost like I carried on enough stuff for the week and I put the extra in the checked bag so that if like the checked bag got lost or something, we could make out for a while. Like, but I mean, the fact that I might have put 8 seconds worth of thought into that is 20 years, not 20 years, but like, she's almost 21 and she was diagnosed when she was 2. So it's been a long time.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of effort I put into it, thinking about it the first time versus this time is very different. Like she was away that night that I just discussed over the weekend. My son, he went to a buddy's house and I looked at my wife, like she was out that afternoon. She's lost a bunch of weight. She was out buying like bras and underwear and stuff like that. She doesn't fit into anymore. She needed new stuff. She's like out shopping. I did some stuff at the house. She came home. I was like, the kids are not here. I was like, quickly put on some of those clothes you just bought and let's go get dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And let's not go to like some like close, like let's go to a decent restaurant and sit down and eat. And like we sat out on like the sidewalk outside of a place and we were eating and we talked about things. And, I never thought about Arden one time. Like I never thought about
Yeah.
I never thought about her. I never thought about the Cole. I was just like, we just had dinner, and we hung out and we went for a ride afterwards. And like, if we were younger, we might've liked, but I mean, we had that kind of time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My point is that like the way you feel now is like not the way you're always going to feel. But
good.
You
I
don't,
hope so.
Yeah, just don't hold yourself here longer than you need to. I guess is my advice.
Right.
But I mean, 6 months in, man, like this is fresh, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
You and your wife, a little more on her than you, the diabetes. Your daughter's doing pretty well with it. Let's pivot for a second, because in your notes here, it says that you went on a GLP medication, but you went off it. I'm interested in why.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah. And so part of this is going to sound like me complaining, because every time I see the dang Zepbound commercial, it makes me mad. So I've struggled with weight, I want to say forever. I mean, I look back at, even in high school, I thought I was bigger. Yeah. I thought I was big, but I look at pictures now and I'm like, it probably was normal. It probably was just in my head.
Mm-hmm.
But now, I am overweight. And so I got on Zepbound in August. So almost a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was working great. And I was losing weight, and I was increasing every 4 weeks, increasing the dose. No symptoms, no side effects. It was working how it should. I remember New Year's Eve. So that had been August to December,
months.
right? So 5 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember celebrating New Year's Eve. We were there shooting off fireworks in my parents' backyard. And I remember thinking like, man, like I'm doing it. Like this is going to be my year. 2025 is going to be my year. Like I'm going to finally continue to drop this weight and continue to get in better shape. And then I guess because that crossed my mind, not a few days later, it was January 3rd, I woke up and I had pretty bad diarrhea. And I thought, I ate something bad. I'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't go away for like a week. And then also some stomach pain and some discomfort and bloating and gas and just a whole number of issues.
Was this wrapped around a dose change?
No, I was on week 3 of, I think 12.5.
Okay. So
I was just about to go up to 15 actually, but I hadn't yet. And so called the doctor. He was like, it's sometimes common. He was like, we may have to take you down to 10, but come in, do some blood work. We'll just make sure everything's okay. And then, so I go in, they do the blood, and then the doctor called me a couple days later and it was like, hey, your lipase, I don't know how you pronounce that, lipase is 600 and it shouldn't be more than 100, or he gave me the range. I don't remember.
Okay.
He was like, so I would recommend that you stop taking it and let's watch this. So I did. And I went back and they did the blood again and it was still high. Then I waited probably a month and I did it again and it had come down, but it was still elevated. And so he was like, I don't think you should take this. He was like, you don't want to risk pancreatitis because you're symptomatic. He was like, if it was just the high level, but no symptoms, I would probably be okay. But he was like, with symptoms plus the result, the blood test, I don't think you should take this anymore.
Did they check it prior to you starting the GLP?
No, they did not.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Did the diarrhea go away when you stopped it?
Yes. So that's gotten better. I still have like some intermittent kind of, I don't even want to call them issues. It's just like every now and then I'll have, so I don't even know if it's in my head or if I feel it because it's what I ate or something. But yes, it's the symptoms have gone away. I actually just went in last week for another blood test to see where the lipase is at. So I guess we'll see where it's at now. But yeah.
You never had any pancreatitis symptoms though?
No.
And how much weight did you lose?
I'm fairly tall. I'm 6'2", and I started at right about 350, and I got down to about 310.
Nice.
Now I've put back on probably 20 of that since, but yeah, I mean, it was working. It was working great.
What was it doing for you? Was it the amount you were able to eat, your hunger? What were you getting out of it?
Yeah, hunger was less. I was eating less. I noticed that I would feel full longer. So it was definitely
satiation.
A great job there. Yeah.
Okay. And are you disappointed enough that you'd try it again? Like where are you at with 40 pounds must have been a pretty big decrease for you. That must have been like noticeable.
Yeah, it was amazing. My A1C was down. I was flirting with prediabetes and it had gone down. I also have a non-alcoholic fatty liver. And so those numbers had gotten better.
Mm-hmm.
the liver enzyme tests they run, I go every 6 months, and those had gotten better. So it was like everything was getting better. So I would try it again. That actually, when I get this blood test back, I hope it's the number has gone down, and that was actually going to be my angle, was to say, well, hey, can we maybe try this again at a lower dose and see what happens?
John, listen, I think it's important to note that I barely got through high school, and nothing I said on this podcast should be blah, 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 blah. You had high lipase levels with no pancreatitis symptoms at all, and you lost 40 pounds, and your biggest problem was that you had diarrhea?
Yes.
How does that compare to your biggest problems now?
I would prefer not to get type 2 diabetes, and I prefer not to,
I'll tell you, like, I don't know how long I've been doing this now. You know what I mean? The GLP, maybe a couple of years even. John, I really appreciate you bringing this up so I get to say this. Thanks. Like, there was a fair amount of time there where I didn't have a solid bowel movement while my body was expelling whatever horribleness I'd been packing into it for 50 years. What I would do is I would just deal with it. And I kept taking my vitamins and my nutrients and doing my, exercise, and I was losing weight. Like, I have to tell you, like, I don't think I cared what was happening if I was losing weight. And I'm not saying that that's a thing you should do for certain. I would look closer at this, because it didn't take me a lot of looking to find out that high lipase numbers when you feel perfectly fine is common, and it rarely means silent pancreatitis. There's plenty of good content you can go look into about acute pancreatitis guidelines with the enzyme levels. It's not, your reasons why your lipase can climb when your pancreas is fine: GLPs, inhibitors, steroids, opioids, a bunch of different medications stimulate or slow renal clearance. Diabetic ketoacidosis can give you enzyme leakage. There's a lot of different things. Gallstones could make it higher. Crohn's disease, infectious colitis, like chronic kidney disease, is a thing we don't want you to have, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If it's not a renal problem, then also strenuous exercise, trauma, sepsis, like these things all make it higher. Let's ask it, can rapid weight loss? I don't know. Like, it sounds to me like you just, you hit a spot where you maybe ate some stuff around New Year's Eve that made your stomach a little upset, and that got you to the doctor because it went on for a week, and then he did your blood work, and now you're suddenly 20 pounds heavier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is that about what happened?
Yeah, it's about what happened.
Yeah, yourself right to 20 pounds is what you did.
Yes.
I mean, John, listen, at your height and weight, I don't know. I mean, I can give it to you from my personal experience and from my personal perspective. It's obviously not medical advice at all, but I know where I was, and where I wasn't going to end well. So, I mean, to say that something else bad's happening, but that's going away. I don't know how to say this exactly, but you're giving yourself a better shot.
I hear it.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, no type 2 diabetes, no all the other stuff that comes with weight. Like, your joints probably started feeling better, right? Like, did your back get less stiff? All that stuff started happening for you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
John, what are we talking about here? Just go to the bathroom and be like, oh, that was horrible. And then get out of there and be thinner.
Oh, I think I might.
Yeah.
I think that's,
And maybe 10, go to 10 for a while, and just maybe ride 10 for a couple months if you want to. But I mean, the truth is once I'm handling it fine. It's not me. I'm not showing off. I'm not unlike you, John. I mean, I've been on it for a couple of years now, and I took my shot a day late this week, and I'm almost 2 pounds heavier than I was on the 6th day.
Yeah.
I'm not out there knocking down a ton of food or anything like that. It just works the way it works, man.
Yeah.
If I stopped taking it, would I gain 20 pounds back? I probably would. I mean, I don't know another way around it. I do not eat a lot of food. And to put 2 pounds back on just because that medication was out of my system for, it's crazy. I don't know what it's doing, but it does something, man. Yeah. Anyway, I not a doctor, not advice, but I bet you if you weighed 240 pounds, you'd be happier.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
And healthier, and I imagine that this is a process. Maybe I'm wrong. Listen, you don't want to Yeah, if you get diarrhea for 9 years, I'm assuming you'll be like, well, this wasn't good, but I don't know. Did you eat something that, looking back now, was very fatty or something like that, or something you hadn't been eating for a while prior to that?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I couldn't put my finger on anything. I mean, obviously the holidays, right? So you're not eating your normal stuff, right? I mean, but I
don't know. It works on me really well. Like, even at the holidays, I was like, oh, all right, I'll just have a piece of this turkey.
Same. I lost weight over Thanksgiving week and crazy, Christmas week. Yeah. Yes, it was absolutely mind-boggling. Correct.
Yeah, no, I know it's something. Well, listen, I mean, I was gonna say maybe try Wegovy, but I mean, there's that extra GIP in the Zepbound that is definitely going to help you with weight loss. I don't know, man. Like, good luck. I'll say that.
Thank you. No, I know. Yeah.
Did your wife try it? Did your wife have any need for it? Anybody else in your family using it?
She is actually on Wegovy, and she's been on it for a little while, and she has done very well. So she has lost a lot of weight. It was funny, your story about your wife getting the clothes. She's been going through that too. She went out through her closet and she was like, 3/4 of the stuff doesn't fit me. It's too big.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been great. She's done really well on it. And she's not even at the highest dose. She's been at I think that one is 1.7, I think, for Wegovy as the second. And she's been on that for months, and it's worked really well.
Any help with her PCOS?
I think if I asked her, I'm pretty sure she would say yes. She still gets pretty bad periods.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that piece has gotten any better, but I think overall, just because of the drop of the weight, I mean, I think she feels better overall.
I would imagine. Yeah. Also, the fat, impacts your hormone levels too. So, just getting those more in check might be helpful. Man, yeah, I feel for you that something happened, because listen, I talked to plenty of people who are like, I took it, it was magic. And I've talked to people who are like, I took it and I had to stop. But I mean, I think it's interesting to talk through the why you had to stop. Like, I think I brought this up the other day, but I was talking to a friend who's like, contacted me and said, like, I'm going to stop doing this now. And I said, why? He's like, it's not for me. Yeah. And I was like, oh, what's that mean? And I realized after a while, like, I was having a conversation on the phone and they were in the parking lot of a convenience store having lunch. And I was like, so I don't feel well on this. I was like, really? I said, so you're slowing your digestion down with a medication and still eating at a convenience store? I'm like, yeah, that might not feel good. You're going to have to do something here. And just went with, well, I'm just going to go with like reduced calories. And I was like, why don't you try that? Like, I couldn't wrap my head around, like, I'm like, yeah, but do that now.
Right.
But so some people, it's not going to be for some people. And by the way, there are going to be some people who are going to have actual medical complications with it, and they certainly shouldn't be using it. You know what I mean?
Sure. Right.
I don't know if you're that person or not. And I mean, what was your confidence level with the doctor? Did they really feel like they knew what they were talking about?
Well, I mean, I trusted them. It's my PCP for probably about 15, 20 years, but I actually was trying to make an appointment with at work. I work for a pretty big company, and so we have an in-house clinic, and they offer weight loss consultations. So I was actually going to go see them and see if they would give me a different opinion.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's been my plan.
I know this is nowhere near. Texas is a big state, but Dr. Blevins, who's been on the podcast a couple of times, he's in Austin.
I have heard his episodes. Yeah. We're not too far. We're in San Antonio, so we're right hour from Austin.
Yeah. I've only been there once. I flew in. I went right into Austin. I gave a talk and I left again. It was the way I see it's always how I see the country, by the way. It's like airport, hotel, hey, everybody, and then boom, gone. So
yeah.
I'm actually going to stay I shouldn't say this. Never mind. I'm telling you all where I'm going to be. That's the first time I've ever had that thought. I was like, yeah, I probably shouldn't say that. I don't know, man. I hope you figure it out, because I mean, not poopy, but type 2 diabetes, not exactly a great trade-off. So
that's true when you think of it like that.
I mean, that's how I think about it. I think about like diarrhea, not fun, not trying to kill you.
Right.
And it'll probably, I'm sure it'll abate at some point. Like, I don't know. Like, I really wish I understood more, because I went through it. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I was going through it. I don't know why it changed, other than to say that my body's changed significantly. Like, I wish I had a more technical understanding of it, and maybe I should look into it. I would say that the very colloquial way I thought about it was, there's a lot of bad stuff in here and I'm getting rid of it. I have no idea if that's right or not. So Anyway, what made you want to come on the podcast? That probably something I should have asked you an hour ago.
No, I mean, I listen. I love podcasts. Podcasts are like my thing. Like even in the car, getting me. So I have a podcast on TV and shows and movies and so then when diabetes happened, I was like, oh, let me see if there's a podcast about diabetes. And sure enough, I found the podcast, and I always liked hearing this. I like hearing the stories, people's different stories about how they manage and diagnosis. And so I thought, hey, and I think you had posted you had some slots open, and so I said, hey, maybe it's a good chance to get on.
John, I see here rapid weight loss plans can indirectly nudge lipase up via gallbladder sludge, ketosis, or lipid storms. But if you stay symptom free and the value sits under 3 times ULN, it's rarely a harbinger of silent pancreatitis. You can slow your weight cut down, keep the gallbladder moving, and repeat the lab 3 times ULN. And what was your number?
It was at 600.
3 times ULN just means 3 times the top end of the normal range. Okay, so the top end of the normal range would be 60, so 3 times would be 180. Yours was, say it again.
600.
600. That's a lot. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot more. But you checked it again, but you were off the medication at that point.
Yeah, the last time I had it checked, which was in probably March, it was right around 80.
Okay. But you're also gaining weight, not losing weight.
Yes.
No symptoms of pancreatitis.
Not that, no.
All right, John, listen. Yeah, I think you know where I'm at.
Yeah,
okay.
I hear you.
I'd like to see you live, and then we'll worry about the rest of this.
True.
Unless it's going to listen, also pancreatitis is horrible. So it's not like exactly, there's no risk in there.
Right.
Anyway, I would do some Googling and some checking and really ask some of those questions for yourself and see if you get back answers that, you know what I mean? Like to see if you get back answers that make sense to you.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So you love podcasts. That's smart. It's good for me. I appreciate that. What kind of podcasts do you usually listen to before this?
I have a sports one, local sports here in town. I have one about movies, one about TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I have a pretty good rotation going. This is not a shameless plug, but my daughter and we actually started kind of making our own on we talk about Disney movies. We do like a rewatch. Yeah. So we have we probably get 20 listens per episode.
Awesome.
So, it's our humble, and it's with the type 1 daughter. So, I mean, it's kind of our bonding,
nice.
Our little bonding moments.
Oh, I love that. You got little microphones. You sit down and watch together and you talk. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun time.
No kidding. You don't want to listen to me and Arden watch TV. We just got done Severance.
Oh, I love Severance.
Now, if you like Severance, you would not have enjoyed watching it with Arden and I. Just every episode, and I'm like, I don't know why I'm watching this. It's like nothing happened again.
Yeah, the second season was a little slow.
Holy hell, John.
Yeah. It picks up at the end though. The last episode was pretty intense.
That's what people told me. And then I watched it last night and it got done and I went, someone owes me 20 hours of my life. I actually said to Arden, I was like, hey, listen, is it possible that Ben Stiller's fucking with me directly? I was like,
oh, wow.
I did not enjoy it at all. I just want to be clear. You can judge me. It's fine. I just I've had people tell me, oh, you didn't understand it. I'm like, nah, I understood it fine. Don't you worry.
I mean, to each their own. It's not, everybody has different tastes.
Yeah, please, you don't have to like the same things. But what I'm saying is sitting here watching it with me, you would have not enjoyed that at all. Like people are like, oh, the acting's great. I'm like, yeah, awesome. It's great acting. I thought people acted really well in it. The acting was good. I understood the story. I don't care. It's it got interesting for me for 5 seconds in the finale. Yeah. And then they ruined that. May I walk you through it, John, real quick?
Yeah.
He was sending videotape messages back and forth to himself. Yep. At first I was like, oh, this is interesting. These two are going to have to collaborate on getting, his wife out of the thing, and he's going to change floors and change people. So they have to both be on board. I was like, I got it. And then 10 minutes later, I'm like, are we still doing this? I got it already. Like, let's go. Like, this is just masturbatory at this point. Like, get moving, right? So then the good feeling I had went away very quickly. and then the way it ends, if I could physically have attacked the actors, I would have. When it ended, I was like, that doesn't make any sense. That literally doesn't make. Let me tell you how it ended for me. Two people realized that they can't live in a volcano, but they could live outside of a volcano. And then they got to the door where they could leave the volcano. And instead of leaving the volcano, they jumped into the volcano.
Yes. You got it. That's right. That's it. That was it.
There's no truth in this art is what I thought, which is a thing I yell at my wife a lot while she's watching television.
Yeah. I did have that thought. I was like, so these people are going to run around these hallways for the rest of their lives?
Well,
I did
for 8 seconds before someone murders them.
Yeah.
It's not for the rest of their lives. That if they had a chance of getting away, then John, I would have been like, okay, I wouldn't have done that, but I understand. They're going to fall into the lava and die. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm trying to be obtuse here. There's no happy ever after. It's not, John.
It's not going to end well.
If they would have laid down in the hallway and had sex, that would have made more sense to me. Let's just bang until they come to kill us.
Right. Yeah.
Or even if they would have had a cupcake, I would have been like, right on, one last cupcake together or something. It just, and that thing with the marching band that you all were telling me online was awesome. It wasn't.
That was weird. I agree. That was weird.
Also, I don't know how many times you've tried to run into a door with a candy machine on the other side of it, but you can't do it for 45 minutes. It's exhausting. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
None of it made any goddamn sense, John.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Ben Stiller. 20 hours. I kept watching it, waiting for something to happen. Nothing happened. Also, there's a lot of obtuse, entertainment that I enjoy. So I'm sure if somebody would hear something else that I liked and be like, yeah, I hated that thing too. So anyway, here's the worst part of it. I didn't hate it. I just didn't like it.
Yeah.
And it felt like I wanted
a lot of TVs like that.
That's like, you're describing my life, friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you and your daughter, what's the last Disney movie you did? I'll try to calm down. I really hated Severance.
So we, in honor of Star Wars Day, we did Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. Awesome. Star Wars being a Disney movie since they purchased from Lucasfilms.
Yeah, I see the loophole you used there. That's awesome.
We did, yeah.
And did she like Star Wars, or was she like, what is this garbage?
No, she does. Yeah, she's a Star Wars fan. So as I mentioned, we're going to Disney. We went to Disney a couple years ago, and they have that whole Star Wars Galaxy's
awesome.
Edge.
Yeah.
And yeah, so she loved it. So I think she's 11, right? So she's starting to get to like, okay, this is like, I'm too cool for this, but she's still like it. I think maybe it's for me. I don't know. She's still into it as of right now. So we'll see if that wanes as she gets older.
Listen, have you heard Arden on the podcast?
I've only heard maybe 1 or 2 Arden episodes.
Okay. Every time we do it, she's like, oh, I hate this. Let's get this over with. And I'm like, you're having a good time. She goes, am I? So I'm like, no, it sounds like you are. But it is nice to do it together. Like, I agree. It's by the way, and everybody shouldn't do that. Like, we don't need you all out there with a podcast. Does she care that, I don't want to say nobody's listening to it, but does she care that only 20 people are listening to it?
I don't think so. I don't think she even knows. And to be honest with you, 15 of the 20 are probably our family members. So, but I don't think she cares.
I think that's nice though. Like honestly, none of my family listens to this. So,
yeah.
I actually said to my son the other day, I was like, if I die one day and you listen to the podcast, you might know how I feel about this, but
that's funny.
But I know you don't.
Yeah.
No, I think that's lovely that you found something to do with her. That's really cool. Yeah. Does your other daughter feel left out?
Well, actually, so she's involved too. So my older daughter and I, we kind of are like the co-host. We go through it. And then my younger daughter, she comes in and she does one little segment. So she has her little piece. So
you let her scream and yell like I just did.
Yeah. She has her little piece because she was feeling left out. So we had to build in something for her to feel part of the team.
Well, you should do one with her and then let your other daughter be the step in one time.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
John, I'm going to tell you where this leads 6 months from now. It's the two of them, not you, and the thing's a huge success.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, they're going to force me out somehow.
They'll be like, you just do the editing and upload it, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, the worst part. Yeah.
The worst part. It is terrible, isn't it? Are you actually sitting down and editing it?
we make the episode, they're like 20 minutes long. So it takes me, an hour, and I don't do it all in one sitting. I do a little bit here and there, but yeah, I go through and I just take out a lot of the uhs and the ums. And sometimes we'll say something and then we didn't say it right. So we'll say it again right after the other. And so I'll take that out. So
dubbing. I don't do that. I just, people are like, yeah, no, listen, poor Rob's got to like edit the show. He said to me the other day, he goes, no one listens to this podcast more than me. And the way you said it, I was like, I don't know if he's complaining or not. I can't tell.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah.
But he's like, every once in a while, I'd be like, yo, you all right? Like, these are getting long again. And I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? He goes, I just did one that was like an hour and 45 minutes. And I was like,
oh, wow. Yeah.
It's funny because if it was up to me, they'd all be longer. I don't know if anybody wants that, even if there's an appetite for that. But I find that like, at the hour and a half mark, like people really chill out in a different way.
Yeah, I think from a listener too, I think that's the kind of the sweet spot. When a podcast is like hours long, it's just like it's overkill. But I think that 60 to 90 minutes is like perfect. You get some of the banter, you get some of the like kind of the like the severance talk, right? You get that kind of stuff, and then you get the main core of the yeah. So
no, I agree. I really do. Like, listen, I grew up on talk radio. So like, there's no doubt in my mind. Like I used to get it at 6 a.m. and like the radio had, commercials. So it wasn't straight through, but I'd put on a radio at my station at my terrible job at 6 a.m. And if Howard Stern went off at 11 o'clock, I was like, oh, why do you go off so early? You know what I mean? And obviously it's not 5 hours of listening. There was a ton of ads in between it.
Right.
I like hearing people talking in the background.
Yeah.
I prefer that over, I can't believe I'm saying this. Like I get in the car sometimes, I'm like, I got to listen to some music and I'll listen for a little bit. And I'm like, I got to listen to somebody talk. I prefer feeling like that. I actually pay for premium YouTube so I can close my phone and the YouTube videos will keep playing.
Oh, okay.
So I can use them like video because I just like people talking in the background. So
yeah,
it sounds like you like it too.
That's me. The girls make fun of me when we get in the car because it'll be on something, a podcast or talk radio, and they're like, "Can we put music on?" I'm like, "Oh, okay. Let me change it." Yeah.
So that godforsaken Pink Pony Club is stuck in my head for 3 weeks.
Oh yeah.
Jesus, Pink Pony. I woke up thinking it the other day, and I was like, "What is happening?" That she's a child, but that person, she found heroin in like audio form because that song sticks to you.
Yep.
Oh, I haven't put it on purpose. I want to be clear that I have never once sat down and thought, I'm going to listen to Pink Pony Club right now. But I did get in the car by myself the other day. And I listened to Doechii by myself for like 45 minutes in case you're... And right now, John's like, I don't even know who you're talking about. Then later, Arden got in the car with me and it was on and she goes, you listening to Doechii by yourself? And I went, maybe.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm sitting there last night. I get an Instagram like DM from Arden. It's just like a picture of Doechii at like the Met Gala. I was like, is she trolling?
Oh my gosh.
I think she's trolling me.
She is. Yeah.
Wait till your daughters get older and they can treat you poorly. You're going to love it.
I know.
You're going to love
coming.
It. Any more kids? Are you guys good?
I think we're good. Yeah.
It's like, no, it's fine. We're good right here.
Yeah. We're good with it too.
Can I ask a question that you don't have to answer, but any disappointment not having a boy?
No, I don't think so. So, I think my wife was content with the one. And so I think my pitch to her for the second was, hey, let's try to see if we can get a boy. And we didn't. And so we were good.
She blame you for that? Was she like, good job, buddy?
No, she, we, now looking back, we can't imagine, our life without either of them. But yeah, that was probably why, we were like, hey, let's see if we get one, one of each, but wasn't in the cards.
No, I got one of each. It's not that special. Don't worry about it.
I actually think, it's kind of nice having the two girls. They like similar things. They play well, I feel like it might be, say I had a sister growing up, we were 2 years apart. So, we were fine, even though, we were into different stuff, but so I think it all works out. But I look at them and I think, yeah, hopefully they're kind of grown together and they'll have somebody for the rest of their lives.
If your girls are anything like mine, you should stop saving for college right now and just start saving for clothing. So it's...
Yeah, we're getting there. Yeah, it's crazy. The 11-year-old. So we gave her a choice of throwing like a get together for her friends for her birthday or going shopping. Well, she picked the shopping. And my wife took her and she was like, we're in trouble. She was like, she likes nice things. She won't let me. My wife's like, I'm always like, hey, let's look at the sale rack. And she's like, nope. And it's crazy.
You get back to that school lady and move that paper around a little more. We got stuff to buy. Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Jesus, no. Trust me. Arden's got such a crazy eye for it too, that just, I don't know. The thing she just went to, the formal, like she needed a dress for it. That's fine. But that's not how it works. Like they ordered 3 dresses and then tried them all on and then decided on one and then returned the other 2. And I'm like, okay. They're like, we're returning them. And I'm like, I mean, yeah, I guess so. Like, do any of them never get, like, it starts making me feel like, does it always get returned? I'm very nervous about this. The whole thing is just nerve wracking. My wife said to me, she goes, she's always in charge of Christmas. And she goes, you're in charge of Christmas this year. I think she thinks I don't help her enough. I think if she heard this and it wasn't in my voice and I said, you're a bit of a control freak and you don't let me help you, that maybe that would resonate with her. But nevertheless, she's hit me this year with, you're in charge of the holidays. And I'm like, fine. And I said, I'll start with Easter. And she's like, fine. And so like 3 days before she comes home with like Easter candy and stuff, I was like, hey, I was like, I thought I was in charge of Easter. She goes, you're not doing it. I was like, no, I did. My gosh. I'm like, I did it already. I have a whole bag of stuff here. And I showed her my bag and she goes, I didn't know that. I was like, you didn't ask. And I was like, oh, this is what it feels like to be a lady. This is fun. And she's like, well, you're in charge of Christmas. I was like, oh yeah, sure. Sure I am. I was like, right. And she goes, well, what are you going to do for him for Christmas? I was like, everybody's getting $500 and a nice kiss on the cheek. It's Christmas time. Go get yourself something nice. Leave me alone. Ho, ho, ho. And she's like, that's not what Christmas is. I said, well, you put me in charge of Christmas and Christmas is going to be money. And I was like, I said, because they're 100 years old, these kids.
Yeah.
What am I buying them? Jenga?
That's
like,
true.
Stop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But she won't let me. That's
almost what they want nowadays.
Money. John,
yeah.
Please.
What they want.
Yeah. Money and access. I don't know. I can't get them access. So this is such an unfair question because you're so new to this. But like, give me a couple of your long-term diabetes related concerns. Like what are the things that are like gnawing at you a little bit that you're worried about?
I mean, obviously complications with, the different things that you read about, and we avoided DKA. Luckily, we must have just caught it soon enough because she was so high that, you hear the stories about getting into DKA at that stage. But yeah, that makes me nervous is long-term complications, eyes and limbs and things like that. Knock on wood, she's fairly healthy. So, I mean, like, we don't have to deal with sick times very often, but that scares the crap out of me is when she's sick and we're having a hard time controlling the blood sugar. I think that freaks me out. Yeah, it's big stuff. And then there's just days where you just have an off day. And it's just like last night we were fighting a low, which again, better than fighting a high, but we were just shoveling candy and juice, and I think we just didn't calculate dinner right. But yeah, I mean, it's just the struggle.
Yeah.
I comment on the Facebook group, and I'll usually say like, hey, we're 6 months in. It does not get easier, but like you learn tips, you learn ways to manage.
Yeah.
That's one of my biggest takeaways.
I am 100% confident in telling people that diabetes is just diabetes, but you will get better at it. And that makes it feel easier. So having more skills and more experience and not freaking out as much, even the stuff like you're very kind to list those things for me when I asked you to, but even the things you're worried about now aren't the things you'll be worried about later.
Okay.
It all morphs at some point. Like, you know what I mean? And you're starting where everybody starts, big picture ideas. Like, is her life going to be as long? Is it going to be as healthy? Is she going to have like some catastrophic thing happen to her? Like, these are very common, like early on worries.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and I said earlier, I'm a planner. So like, to me, I'm always trying to like plan ahead, and, it's hard because I'm the type of person, like, I think like, okay, we're going to take her to college one day and I'm going to have to like sit down with these roommates and like scare the hell out of them and be like, hey, like these are some things you need to watch out for. And I imagine her just being like, Dad, and rolling her eyes at me, But I think about that stuff too, like bringing home a boyfriend, like, hey, come sit down, son. Let me tell you about type 1 diabetes. I don't know. And maybe it's just me trying to over prepare.
Yeah. No, you're doing the thing, John. You're worry is a waste of imagination. You're just imagining what's going to go wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. And most of that probably won't happen that way.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like college, I mean, in 7 more years, I don't know if will college be a thing?
Yeah.
And, or will the AI machine just put the thought in your head so you can go do it? I don't know how it's going to work. Are you going to have to scare roommates like to help? Like your daughter will be in a different situation then. She won't want you to do that and she probably won't need you to do it. Right. And you know what I mean? Like the boyfriend thing, like Arden's seeing a boy right now. Like it's so funny how I talk to her versus how I thought I would talk to her. Because instead of telling her like, you have to make sure that he blah, blah, blah. I asked her, I said, how much of your diabetes are you letting him know about? Mm-hmm. And that comes from me talking to young women on the podcast.
Oh, true. Okay.
Instead of me telling her what she should be doing, I asked her what she's comfortable doing. It's a nice growth moment for me, John. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And people who think I should have liked Severance, so like maybe you should put some of that growth into that. But no, you're wrong. That Severance show is garbage. But nevertheless, I just said to her, I was like, what's your level of, like I said, I'm not going to mention anything to him. It's up to you. But what have you told him so far? What are you comfortable with him knowing? What have you told him? And then she just shared with me what she's told him so far. So it's not the way I would have imagined it when she was 11.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, I would have said the same exact thing you said. Like, oh, he needs to understand this. And does he know how to use glucagon? And does he you just realize like, that's not what they're really going to do,
Right. Yeah. And that makes sense. I mean, I mentioned a couple times we took her to a birthday party on Sunday and we told her, we go, just tell one person that you have this glucagon. They're not going to know what to do with it, but just tell them that it's in your bag. And that way, in case they know it's there, they can alert somebody if they have to, like just tell somebody. And she said, okay, I will. So we've tried to do little things like that where we're not going in and we're not saying, well, look, here's this and here's how you do it. But we're just telling her, like, make somebody aware in situations early to try to get her to learn, I guess.
Yeah, that's best practice. Like, it's what I would tell you to do. I just don't know if it happens or not.
Right.
And if it has to, because my story with Arden, like she took her bag with her and we packed all that stuff in it and it came back and was never opened and nothing was out of it. But all it was is it smelled like a rotten banana. So
yeah.
Having said that, I don't know, like if something would have gone wrong, I would have been like, thank God it was all there and we should have told somebody and the other side of it. So, and I did help her a little bit. Like I knew she was going to be super busy that night. So I actually paid a little closer attention to her blood sugar in case it was like going one way or the other. And, like I could kind of get to her and send her a text. I did end up texting her once in the evening. And then at 5 a.m., she got a little low. And I texted her and she's like, oh, I fixed that 10 minutes ago. Leave me alone. And I was like, awesome. Great. This has been a fun conversation. Anyway, you'll be okay.
Yeah.
Can I tell you something that I hope you find comforting? I believe you have the whole thing licked already. You just don't even know it. Your interest and your desire to be involved is what you really need. And you have that. Not a lot of men come on. You know what I mean? You're obviously interested in it. You're making a podcast with your daughters. Hey, you're a good guy. I'd go take care of yourself a little bit and keep being yourself. And I think you're going to be good.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, like I said, it's been a journey and we have, it's almost like you just learn new ways. I mean, we now, how we live, right? It's just a different way of learning. Yeah, new normal.
It's normal now and not what you wanted and it's not what you planned for, but it'll be awesome. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like just as awesome as the other thing was going to be.
Right.
At least now now you're super focused. Life's got your attention now. You're like, woo.
Yes. Yes.
Not in the right way, John. I understand. But yeah, I mean, listen, it's been my experience that I wish it was easier. And there are things that my daughter lives with that I wish she didn't live with. But overall, it hasn't changed the big ideas about being alive, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And that's comforting to hear because that's all you want. I mean, that's all you want for your kids, I feel like.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of things can go wrong. This is one of the things, there's a lot of ways to think about it. You could have got hit by a car that day or, fallen into a volcano, go watch that stupid show. And then, and when it's so frustrating when although I have to say the freeze frame at the end, I thought, oh, that'd make a cool t-shirt.
Yeah.
Other than that,
mid-run in the hall.
Yeah, I was really, really irritated by the whole thing. The entire thing. Just soup to nuts. Every minute I watched it, I was like, why am I watching this show? Why won't I just stop watching it? Because everybody was telling me it was good. I was like, all right, I'm missing something.
That's my wife with the White Lotus. I don't know if you've seen that one.
Hold up a second, John. Yeah, that show fucking sucks too.
yes. Every time she was like, "What is the point of this show?" She's like, "Why? What? I don't."
Nothing is happening.
Yes.
It would end, and I'd go, "That was another hour where nothing happened." Like, oh my God! So godforsaken, slow. And again, masturbatory, self-indulgent, and just like nothing is, there's no story and there's nothing happening. It's just painful waste of my time. Oh my God, that show, Mike White. I liked you on Survivor that year, but the rest of this has just been horrible.
I think that's just a lot of TV. I think that's just a lot of TV nowadays, I guess, because I mean, a lot of shows are like that, I feel like.
I mean, even there are bad shows that are better than that.
Yeah.
Let me give you an example of a terrible television show. And I mean really, really bad. And I love it. It's so bad. Hold on. Now I'm embarrassed because I think this is going to argue against my argument. But I allow myself one TV show that is just ridiculous and terrible, right? My TV show for the last couple of years that falls in that category is something called The Rookie with Nathan Fillion. Okay,
I've heard of it.
Okay, yeah. It is not good. I want to be clear. Okay. There are times that you're watching it, I'm like, did they let 3 9-year-olds write this? There are times that people end their scenes and I go like, I yell into the house. I go like this, acting, because it's terrible. But I like it. They're like, I don't know, like it's agreeable people on screen. This is not what I'm comparing Severance to. I want to be clear. Okay. Something's got to happen. We got to build to something. Like it's not enough that something. Did you watch White Lotus?
We did. We watched. We watched the whole. We've watched all 3 seasons. Yeah.
Right, listen. So for anybody who hasn't watched season 3 that's planning on it, I'd stop this right now if I was you. Okay. There's a difference between a story arc and watching a kid jerk off his brother during a threesome. Okay, like one thing is like shocking. I didn't learn anything about these people. Do you understand? Like there's no depth to them. The story did not explain anything. It did not bring me to another place on the planet. It didn't give me a new understanding of people. It just bored me into oblivion. And then all of a sudden I saw that happen. And I'm like, and people are like, oh my God, it was so shocking. I'm like, yeah. I mean, A, because it's ridiculous, and B, because that wouldn't happen, and C, because it comes out of nowhere because there's no story arc whatsoever.
Right. Yeah.
The father with the constant, like, you know, I want to kill myself. I want to kill myself. I want to kill myself. And then like a bad TV show, they leave the fruit in the mixer cup. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, who wrote this? A 9-year-old?
Yeah.
And the guy with the gun and the thing and it was all fucking stupid. Did you enjoy it, John? What did you think of White Lotus?
It was not the best television. I don't think that we've seen. So, yeah.
It's not the best television. You're goddamn right it wasn't. Because nothing happened. Nothing. Even the thing with the... Like, let me ask you a question. I almost described somebody by their... I'm not good at describing people, but was the woman whose son showed up on the island late, was the guy with the money... Like, do you know what I mean? Like, was he trying to, like, scare her? Was he going to kill her? Like, you don't know. Like, you don't know any of it. Right? And does it make any sense that he gave her all that money? If he was going to kill people, why wouldn't he just throw in the water?
Right.
There's no truth in that art. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. Everyone should look up the phrase, there's no truth in this art. It doesn't have to be real. It just has to make sense.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's no way at the end of Severance you'd go back in.
Severance. We keep going back to Severance.
Why would you go back? John, explain to me why they would go back in. Go ahead. You like the show. Tell me right now.
Thinking of it that way, there is no reason to go back in. I hear you.
Thank you, John.
Yes.
And everything doesn't have to make sense all the time. Listen, I know there's a moment in Pulp Fiction where Bruce Willis has a ball gag on and none of it makes a lot of sense, but it was fun. And you know what Severance isn't? Fun. It's not fun. They made sex unfun. They made time traveling unfun. They made everything unfun. Remember the sister's husband, the author?
I think he was just there. I don't even know why he was there.
Exactly,
I think
John.
He was there to be funny, I guess. Or I don't know why.
Was that working for you?
No, he wasn't that funny.
Every second he was on screen made me murderous.
Yeah.
Okay. It was relieved when he left, and then the sister was there, and she was torturous. They made Sandra Bernhardt not funny. Okay. Do you even know she was in it? You're not old. You're not old enough to know who she is, right? No. She's the nurse that drug around the wife to the different rooms.
Oh, okay.
Right? Okay. That woman used to be a comedian. She's had sex with Madonna. Okay. But what I think, or they were friends. I don't want to besmirch them. I'm not sure. I don't remember the 80s as clearly as I should. But what I'm going to tell you is that god awful, just terrible. Nothing. What were the goats for?
Oh, the goats. That was, again, who knows? And the goat people, I don't even know what they were there for. Yeah, right, John. You watched a lot of stuff you don't understand. Yes.
And it's not because it's like mystical. It's because it didn't make any sense. Right, I mean, I know Ben Stiller lived through cancer and all, but I don't know how much rope I can give him here on this. You know what I mean? Like, I'm happy for him and all. By the way, did he divorce the girl from the Brady Bunch movie and then they got back together?
I think so. Yeah, I think they're back together.
For the love of God.
I think they're making another dodgeball movie, I thought.
Well, good. That was a good movie. It was terrible, but it was fun. And it had a story arc. It wasn't a good story arc, but it was a story arc, and I could follow it, and it made sense. They threw wrenches at people. It was a good time.
Yeah.
What was that other movie you made that was great that nobody could ever make anymore? Oh my God. Robert Downey's in blackface.
Oh, Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder. Fun movie. Yeah. I don't think that one plays anymore, but fun.
I don't think so.
Fun movie. Yeah, he needs to get back to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm very upset, John. Tell me something you do enjoy watching so we can gauge your...
We really liked The Pit on HBO.
The Pit was awesome.
Yeah. That was refreshing.
Absolutely. A thrill ride of adrenaline.
Yeah. Yep.
It played out honestly.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Little good, little bad, little high, little low. Very human. All made sense. A fucking goat didn't wander through it for no reason. When people were shooting, they didn't go to where the people were shooting. They left where the people were shooting. That all makes sense, doesn't it? Right? Yeah. He was on the other side of the door. He's been looking for this lady for years. He saved her. She was attractive. She wanted him to come. The other woman was saying, I'm a bad person. We have no life together. And he went, yeah, I'll go with you for the 9 more seconds that we'll get to be alive together. God damn it, John. It didn't make any fucking sense. Oh my God. And then you're all out there. I see you in the group telling me it's a good show. It's not.
Oh, that's funny.
Don't stop listening to the podcast just because I don't like Severance, by the way.
No, of course not.
I'm talking to everybody, John, not just you. I got more than 20 people listening. I got to keep everything going. Yes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You've got me already, so you can't lose me.
Thank you, John. I appreciate it very much. Is it too late to pivot back to something serious?
No, of course.
So one thing I skipped over, I know your last name. How much of your weight is cultural, do you think?
I know, and I'm Hispanic, and the Hispanic culture, I mean, we do tend to be heavier, but I mean, my parents are both, I would say, average. Mm-hmm. My dad actually is in pretty good shape. My grandparents were all not like morbidly obese. So I don't know, not a lot, I don't think. I mean, who knows what's past them, but you know. Let
me stretch the question out then. Like, is your situation lifestyle, or do you think it's wiring, or do you think it's both, or what do you, like, you listen to me talk about like how I ate before, but it wasn't terrible. It wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. It certainly didn't warrant that much extra weight on me. The medication. Yeah. What do you think? Where do you think you fit into that puzzle?
I think it's both. I think everybody goes through this when they're young. Like, when I was 20, I mean, of course, pizza, Taco Bell, takeout. I mean, that was the norm. But back then, I mean, you could eat whatever you want and it wouldn't do anything to you. Mm-hmm. But maybe since we've had the kids or since I've been married, we've been married for 15 years. I mean, we'll splurge and we'll have moments where we go out and, have something that maybe we shouldn't. Or I would say for the most part, we eat pretty healthy and we try to just stay as low as carb as possible. Obviously we're not keto or low carb, but we try to, do it as much as we can. So I think it's a little bit of both. I do like to eat, like I like to snack. Now we don't have the, much snacks in the house, so I mean, the stuff I get is not, I wouldn't classify it as junk food. I am a snacker, but no, I mean, other than that, I mean, I was telling my wife the other day, we were in the car and I was driving to her and I was like, I have eggs for breakfast. I have a salad for lunch. For dinner, we make something, sensible of meat, a protein, a vegetable, and maybe a starch. I was like, we're not getting McDonald's every day. It's that's part of what makes it frustrating as well.
Well, I think that Jenny and I are recording a nutrition series right now. It's not out yet, but we're recording it. I mean, there is a lot of bad processed foods. There's a lot of sugar and stuff that you don't realize, like that kind of stuff. But I hear what you're saying, like of what's available to you. You're not running into the fast food direction, like that kind of thing. Right. And you are trying and nothing happens. And then you use that medication for 6 months and lost 40 pounds. Right. Like that's a significant amount of your body weight.
Yes.
So I think there's something else at play first, listen, I'm not a doctor, barely got through high school, like blah, 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 blah. But like, I can tell you that I started on Wegovy and 4 days later I had lost 10 pounds. Does that make any sense to anybody?
No, not at all.
Because it didn't make any sense to me. And I was like, this is weird. And I told the doctor's like, that shouldn't even be working yet. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I injected it and I woke up 4 days later, like more than 10 pounds, like around 10 pounds. I don't remember. It's 2 years ago now. I lost a lot of freaking weight. It also doesn't make sense that if I miss the medication for, a 24-hour gap that I put 2 pounds back on, unless it's doing something for me that my body should be doing that it's not doing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. Like, so I don't know, man. Like, listen, I think you take that planning part of you and plan on how to get to the bathroom while you have diarrhea. Okay. Because
yeah, I think I might have to just do that. Yeah.
Because 100 pounds from now,
right,
you're going to be like, okay, like, listen, if your pancreas explodes, then obviously no, but 100 pounds from now, I think you're going to look back and go, it was worth it. Right. That's how I felt. Like, dude, we went away on a little break to take Arden from one school to another. And it was in the middle of me not feeling well, like while I was doing this. And there were adjustments. Like we went out to a lunch one day and I got done lunch and I looked at Kelly and I said, I know you guys are going to go walk around. I'm going immediately back to the hotel because like something horrible is about to happen. And I felt fine, but I just knew it was coming. And so like, I just planned around it for a while and eventually it stopped. Yeah. So, I can give you some ideas about how to help it stop if it keeps going, but reach out to me if you get back in that position again.
Absolutely.
John, you were awesome. I appreciate you listening to me talk badly about a TV show that you enjoyed. I'm sorry about that. The Rookie is garbage. I know that. I'm not saying otherwise, but there is something lovable about Nathan Fillion. And if you don't see it, I don't know what your problem is. Okay. He's Canadian.
I'll just check it out.
He's darling. Oh, John, listen. It's terrible. It's overacted. It's overbaked. It's big for no reason in places. It doesn't make sense. They wrap the whole thing up in 6 minutes. It's like there's a serial killer, 75 people are dying on a spaceship. And then like 5 minutes later, you're like, we fixed it. It's over.
We got it. Yeah.
It's not good. As I'm watching it, it's not good. It ends. My wife hates it. But we watch it together. This is how she makes fun of me for the stuff I make fun of her for. And it ends and she'll go, that wasn't a particularly good episode. And I went, no, and that's really saying something. Because the best episodes at best are the A-Team. You know what I mean?
Right.
You don't know, John. You're too young for the A-Team. Hold on 1 second for me.
Uh-huh.
The podcast episode that you just enjoyed was sponsored by Eversense CGM. They make the Eversense 365. That thing lasts a whole year. One insertion every year? Come on. You probably feel like I'm messing with you, but I'm not. EversenseCGM.com/juicebox. A huge thanks to my longest sponsor, Omnipod. Check out the Omnipod 5 now with my link, omnipod.com/juicebox. You may be eligible for a free starter kit, a free Omnipod 5 starter kit at my link. Go check it out, omnipod.com/juicebox. Terms and conditions apply. Full terms and conditions can be found at omnipod.com/juicebox. Touched by Type 1 sponsored this episode of the Juicebox Podcast. Check them out at touchedbytype1.org on Instagram and Facebook. Give them a follow. Go check out what they're doing. They are helping people with type 1 diabetes in ways you just can't imagine. Thank you so much for listening. I'll be back very soon with another episode of the Juicebox Podcast. If you're not already subscribed or following the podcast in your favorite audio app like Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please do that now. Seriously, just to hit follow or subscribe will really help the show. If you go a little further in Apple Podcasts and set it up so that it downloads all new episodes, I'll be your best friend. And if you leave a 5-star review, I'll probably send you a Christmas card. Would you like a Christmas card? The episode you just heard was professionally edited by Wrong Way Recording. WrongWayRecording.com.